Hi, welcome to Swim Focus. It's Coach Mike here. If you want to learn a little more about us, you can read us on the About page and see our backgrounds. Here in this video, I wanted to tell you a little bit about why we developed the rubric, how we developed the rubric, and what we teach at Swim Focus. So I think the major thing that you can see the difference between Swim Focus and other swim programs on the internet is that we're looking to educate you. We're not looking to tell you how to take off 5 minutes off your Ironman swim. We're not looking to tell you you're going to improve your swimming in 10 weeks time, or these 3 simple mistakes that you always make. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for more individualized, almost like an educational approach to teaching swimming. So our backgrounds are based on education, and we've spent a lot of time in higher education facilities, and that's what we want to bring to swimming. So when you get a report from us, we're not telling you do this, do this, do this. We're telling you here's the things that we think can be improved. Here's why we think they can be improved. Here's some adjustments that you can make, and that's decisions up to you, right? So it's a nice work in between the coaches. If you want to have those one-on-one discussions, we offer that as well. Send us a note. We can definitely set up a web conference, and we can talk to you like a person. It's a partnership, right? Coach and athlete is always a partnership, and we want to have those individualized as best as we can. So we built a rubric that helps us bring that individualized process to the masses at a much cheaper price point. So send us your video, we'll send you some information back on the rubric, then you can download some workouts from the rubric and work on those. After a while, come back, hit us back up, we'll watch your video again, make some more suggestions, tell you what's going right, what's going wrong, and then you can learn more about swimming each time, right? After you spending a ton of time learning about swimming becomes much more fun. Because you know what you're trying to work on, right? You understand, okay, I need to put my hand in this way so I can reduce the drag on the front, or I need to make sure my elbow stays up so I can increase the surface area when I pull back, or I need to shorten my stroke up just a little bit at the end so I'm not just wasting time with just my tricep because I'm not generating force, right? So there's a lot of interesting things that you can think about in swimming, and that's what we try to bring to you, right? So the rubric is made up of 4 components. We make the rubric of body position, so that's how your body's sitting in the water, whether it's rotating, whether it's sinking, whether it's too low or too high. There's all kinds of things. Even when you think about putting on wetsuits, it changes, right? So I think body position is the number one thing that people struggle with in the pool, and that's what we spend a lot of time building our foundation around. The next 2 are kind of together, propulsion and rhythm. Propulsion is the actual mechanical act of pulling with your arm and kicking with your leg and rotating with your body and putting it all together as one working unit. So it's a very complex movement, right? So the idea of actually working together as a machine is every part needs to be working coordinated to be able to develop power. Rhythm is the tempo that you do that at, right? So there's some things that people forget about in rhythm. Your breathing rhythm is often forgot about. How fast your stroke is compared to what your form can maintain. Right? There's a lot of material out there that tells you have to go a specific stroke rate, but doesn't talk about if you can't maintain your form, or if your stroke length goes up, or you're starting to swim flat, or you're not getting any power on each pull, right? So there's got to be a happy medium. You got to find that, right? I'm not saying stroke rate should be low or stroke rate should be high. It's got to be individualized for one person. Most definitely you shouldn't be swimming at a stroke rate of 18 though, just because that's excruciatingly slow, right? At some point, your stroke rate will limit you. Although the world record was held by Alexander Popov for years at like a 48 stroke rate, which is 96. But most people will be much higher than that in a 50 free. So why did he hold that world record for so long? Is he had fantastic technique, and that stroke rate worked for him. If he increased that stroke rate, would he go faster or would he go slower? Well, if he could maintain his technique, then obviously he'd go faster. But probably wasn't able to maintain his technique at that increase of rate, so he was faster at slightly lower. So it's individualized, right? And some people will always fit on that continuum, but you got to think about it. Fitness is a big proponent of swimming. Swimming's often thought of as this unique kind of sport, but it's a sport, right? You need to have fitness just like anything else. You need strength, you need endurance, you need coordination when you're swimming, right? So these are the kinds of things that fit into fitness. Finally, we're working on one more, which is a fun one that I've been putting together for years, is triathlon specific. So when we're starting to think about open water, triathlon specific, there's a whole bunch of things that we tend to forget about. Number one, you got other events to do after your swim. So can you full on just kill yourself on the swim? No, right? We need to be able to control ourselves so we can get into the bike. So is there an ability to breathe more, reduce some of our leg effort, maybe reduce how much effort we're putting into the swim, right? So these are the things that you have to think about when you're doing a triathlon portion. There's also just open water skills, sighting, swimming around a buoy, swimming in a pack, drafting, making sure that you can handle cold water swims. Can you actually swim in open water without panicking? And as a person who's dragged a few people back to the shore, you know, it's definitely happens, and it's no one's fault. It's just the fact that this is a unique environment and you have to get used to it, right? So there's a lot of things that we can talk about in terms of triathlon specific as well, and we'll be releasing that soon. So for now, go over to Swim Focus, send us a video, we'll watch it, we'll provide you with some interesting topics that we think you can improve on, tell you why we think you need to improve on them and how you can improve on them, and then head back to the Rubric and download some workouts. So each Rubric score, you can actually find a workout package that'll give you short little workouts that you can implement to your already swimming, and just work on that specific skill. Once you've worked on a specific skill for 4-6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, somewhere in that range, come back to us, we'll rewatch the video, see how that skill has improved, and then give you the next thing that we think can improve upon. And that's the best thing about swimming. Once you start to learn about swimming and understand swimming, it becomes this fantastic thing that you can just always improve just a little bit, right? And it's really fun, that strive for excellence and not knowing that there's kind of an end point on that excellence, right? And swimming becomes even more fun because it's kind of like golf. It's very, very technical, right? There's lots of things that can go wrong because it's such a complex movement, and that's why I love it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. Head over to Swim Focus. We'd be happy to work with you. Send us a note, and let's take a look at that rubric. Thanks.